So today I get a lot of, some of my friends, younger siblings, they're really worried about, what to do next if AI is going to take away all the jobs.
Right.
So according to you, how screwed are Gen Zs in India? What are they supposed to do now?
It's very like the 2007-2008 financial crisis in my head, where there were a lot of MBAs and finance people who are suddenly jobless or don't have any jobs. So I have a senior from Ahmedabad who was the last batch hired by Lehman Brothers before they went under. So they took like a boatload of people, maybe like 15-20, और सबको उस time पे 200K या कुछ दे रहे थे. मतलब it's a bonkers money at that time. And then the company goes under, and then suddenly these 20 offers that are there, they evaporated, right? I think we are in a similar phase here where the kind of job that worked in the past is now under question. It isn't that investment banks or investment bankers, and you yourself have done finance, has become redundant. It's just that it has resized and these people are doing something else. So if I look at the Lehman Brothers bankers of 2008, today they are probably Blackstone private equity guys, right? That's the top tier, or PVC is like the top tier stuff. Similarly, I think engineering में भी वही हुआ है, where a lot of people have become engineers seeing this rush, and now everybody is questioning कि engineers की ज़रूरत होगी कि नहीं. Now, I don't know how this will play out, but I have two hypotheses. One is that...
Shit, what worries me is that you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I have told you before also in the podcast itself that you can never know the future. I can just hypothesize कि क्या होने वाला है. I have two approaches here. One is जो Jevons Paradox है, which a lot of people say. That
what is that?
Jevons Paradox. So Jevons Paradox basically says that contrary to general expectation, if there is a new technology whose cost drops, its usage increases more than when its cost was higher. So like electricity, steam engine, etc. All these things. Now AI. So one argument for Jevons Paradox is that the requirement for engineers will 10x, because now people will be working with so much code that अब सबको engineer और चाहिए होगा. Every company will need more and more engineers. You cannot work without,
Yeah,
that's one
I think one insight or one proof of this is that consulting companies are now hiring from engineering colleges.
That's right.
And not from MBA colleges.
That's right. So yeah, even finance firms are hiring from engineering colleges and so on and so forth, right? So that's one hypothesis which I think could play out. Actually, it's more likely to play out. The other is the demand for engineering goes down. Human beings find something else to do. So this reinvents itself into something else. And I think that aspect of human beings, which is how we've got here as a species, is that we are very capable of reinventing ourselves. For example, the thing that you do, which is you are an influencer, you are a creator, you have an entire ecosystem built around content. This was a non-existent thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like literally just 1 decade ago. When I was thinking on, तो कोई creator था ही नहीं, right?
Yeah.
और या फिर celebrities थे. So, and it's become a fairly stable, maybe not predictable that way, but a lot of people can do their livelihood in this path.
Yeah. So tell me some themes in India which you think which we think will do well, and it was not obvious according to you for the masses. When they hear this, it's not very obvious to see that, oh, this kind of businesses will do well going forward. What are those non-obvious things? Because that is where the money is going to be made, because non-obvious is less competitive. Less competitive means higher probability of success.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what those are?
Yeah, one I think is AI-led services. A lot of people think India reh gaya hai. My contrarian view is India is very well placed to do it. And AI-led services means one, deployment of AI, but also services powered by AI.
So basically, human powered with AI as a service.
That's right.
That's
or
the
implementing AI somewhere, etc. The combination of this is one theme that I feel like a lot of people are not believing India kar payega. but India will definitely do.
Sure.
I have a very interesting framing which I use in terms of identifying where opportunities are. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Huh.
I have spoken about this before as well. But India is a very interesting market where people have needs across the 5 levels. I'd say we are at like safety wala level. We have gone from physiological needs, which is basics, to more like, okay, now I need to be, take care of what I already have. I have something to protect. And her stage mein there will be a lot of interesting companies being built because India has markets and all. Self-actualization में भी है, belonging में भी है, safety में है, physiological भी है. So I'll talk through like some. So maybe this one that I was talking about is almost like a skilling and self-actualization economics related.
So I think for that you need to explain what is Maslow's law of hierarchy. I know what you're talking about, but maybe you can explain those 3 levels.
So there are 5 levels actually. Maslow's hierarchy of needs fundamentally says that human beings have a hierarchy of needs, that till the first level of the hierarchy is not met, they will not progress to the second one. Human beings obviously don't behave in such, discrete ways.
Yeah.
Because entertainment is also a need and, food is also a need.
Yeah.
Sab hota hai usme.
Yeah.
But you can kind of bucket people.
But you don't think about entertainment before you're
That's right.
not
Although,
hungry.
Funnily enough, there was this...
That's why we eat food first. We put food on our plate first and then we watch TV.
Yes. But interestingly, there was this study done by Abhijit Banerjee, who is a Nobel Prize winner. He found in Mexico that if given $100 to people, they would buy a TV before they got food because they would rather not be bored than die of hunger. So it's human beings are so complicated, right? I mean, you would think that they would want food first, but that's not true.
Now they want entertainment first.
Not now. It's always been like that because boredom is very hard to live with. I mean, they would prefer spending...
No, actually you're right. People would pick alcohol over food.
Probably, yes.
And people who like to have fun.
Numbs you or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So you have your basic needs, then you have physiological needs, then you have safety, then you have love and belonging, then you have self-actualization. I mean, they use different kind of phrasing for this. Mota, these are your needs. And you can look at almost every company and place it somewhere.
Maybe Zomato comes under the level
yes,
1.
on food. Yes, food. Physiological needs. Then you would have maybe like a grower Zerodha. They are more like safety, relate financial safety.
That is level 2.
Level 2, वैसे. I mean, sometimes it's level 2, sometimes level 3. It's like, it's a bit fuzzy. That's why I said five levels. Then you have self-actualization, which is like, I have everything. I am Cristiano Ronaldo. What are my needs? I want to be a...
Exclusivity.
Ekdam, matlab, upar. So then you'll have a lot of your luxury solutions that are catering to people who have everything solved for themselves.
What are they? Are there any businesses in India which cater to that?
Like a Soho house. Right? Although it solves a belonging problem specifically, but it's people who have a lot of access who want more exclusivity. Like clubs, for example, is a very interesting mix of belonging and self-actualization. You are like feeling that you made it, and then you have this like, जैसे Pune में भी है, Bombay में भी है, lots of these.
Are you part of any clubs?
No. I don't believe in this. I find मेरे लिए किताबें से self-actualization होता है, सोचने से. So for people, it's like very different things. Ideas can, result in self-actualization, writing, there's so many things. But they also get combined with something else. I'm thinking, like, if you want to look at a really pure self-actualization thing, it is an elevation of your mind. I mean, that's how that is like, there's no material thing involved in it. It's just that, how people have talked about Gautam Buddha. He sat and he attained enlightenment. He is on Maslow's hierarchy of needs at the top. He has transcended everything, right? So that is self-actualization, where you have, gone beyond all the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in some sense. So I don't think you can make a business out of it necessarily, but people are able to make businesses out of everything. But India में हर level पे होता है. So like AI is one. Then I think I keep saying again and again that the plumber in urban company is making as much as Infosys entry level person today, right? And then they say, oh, life mein growth nahi hai uska, and it is true, by the way. I mean, you cannot become a manager of a plumber, but I think blue collar workforce, one specifically in India, and second exported from India, is going to be a huge trend. Like people looking for nurses, it's already started happening, by the way. People looking for nurses, people looking for electricians, carpenters, they're going to be in short supply globally. And India is going to be a very big hub, both domestically as well as bahar.
Basically high dexterous activities.
Yes, which machines cannot do. And you will see that incomes of these people will spike because the supply will be less, demand will be huge. And that is what you can see right now in terms of like parity from a standpoint of how much an Infosys person makes versus how much a urban company ka person makes.
Economics, the market forces are showing it already.
That's right. Then the third is, I think sovereign technology is an interesting play.
What does that mean?
So what has happened in the world over the last 5 years is people have become, like countries have become aggressive, which means they want to fight. It's also usually a sign of a down cycle that people are fighting क्योंकि लोग झगड़ने लगते हैं जब
there's scarcity of resources.
That's right, absolutely. जब पाई छोटा हो गया तो लोग झगड़ने लगते हैं. In fact, I say that when you start seeing bad news of startups coming, a downturn is coming. So like a founder gets fired from the board and things like that. There's a sign कि market गिरने वाला है, startup market. When startup markets are not very easily priced, you can't see the price. So you have to look at all of these, signals which are not that visible. So when the pie is shrinking, people start fighting a lot more. And that's why I think a lot of these wars are happening, because we are in this weird kind of bull market in some area, but generally recessionary. So if you remove AI from the US, like if you remove all the growth that has come from AI, they're actually flat or declining, the rest of the economy, which means that scarcity situation hai. So because of this, countries have become inward, also trading less and stuff. So there will be a need, one, to build defense systems which are your own, but also technology which is your own, which cannot be compromised. So let's say, I think drones are going to pick up in a big way, not just for fighting, but just generally like moving stuff around.
Yeah.
A lot of it, or almost all of it, is imported. अब ये इसका पूरा system कौन बनाएगा? किसी को तो बनाना पड़ेगा. Then you have guns, you have satellites, space, any machinery that's moving around. There'll be
a lot. Space companies will do well in India also.
Space companies, so India is very interesting space position given its GDP per capita is so low, but its ranking in space is like so high.
Yeah.
It's one of the only
anomalies.
Yes, countries to be able to even think of sending people to the moon, right? Only China, US and Russia when it used to be a big power. So defense, space, but even just technology that is being used day to day in sensitive situations, that will also need indigenous companies building for them. That's also an opportunity. जहाँ पे मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सारे startups आएंगे और interesting theme है.
Glad you made it till here. If this gave you even one idea to improve your finances, send it to a friend. Helping them might just make you the smartest person in their group chat. And don't miss the full episode on Finance with Sharan. There's a lot more where this came from.